Welcome to the first lecture on mass transfer operations 1. In this lecture, I will introduce you to the mass transfer operations and give you the goal of this course, and the detailed course structures will be elaborated. The main objectives of this course is to discuss the fundamental concepts of mass transfer operations and principles and apply those concepts to real engineering problems. This course will provide an overview of mass transfer operations at basic to an intermediate level, and the coverage will be relatively broad. The goal is to provide students with the theoretical or analytical background to understand mass transfer operations and tackle short of complex problems. The detailed course plan in module 1 will discuss mass transfer operations and diffusion. Here we will discuss the diffusion mass transfer. We will introduce you to the mass transfer operations. So, introduction to mass transfer, Fick's law of diffusion, both under steady state conditions and unsteady state conditions. Steady state molecular diffusion, this is under stagnant as well as laminar flow conditions. Then we will discuss diffusion coefficients, its measurement, and as well as prediction. Then introduction to multi-component systems, molecular diffusions in solids, molecular diffusion in solids, and its application. So, in module 2 we will discuss concept of mass transfer coefficients, mass transfer under laminar and turbulent flow path solids, mass transfer under laminar and turbulent flow first solids, boundary layer concepts, mass transfer at fluid surfaces, correlation for convective mass transfer, correlations for convective mass transfer coefficients, in module 2 we will also discuss height of transfer units HTU and number of transfer units NTU concepts. Theories of mass transfer operations, and its applications. Interface mass transfer, overall mass transfer coefficient, coefficients in binary system, in module 3, which is equipment for gas liquid operations, there are two type of equipments. One is laboratory equipment, and second one is industrial equipments. In laboratory equipments, we will be discussing spurged, and agitated vessels, Venturi scrubber, and weighted wall tower. And in industrial equipments, particularly we will discuss packed and tray towers. These laboratory equipments are basically to generate the parameters which will be used for industrial towers, packed and tray towers. So, these laboratory equipments are called the model simulators for the packed and tray towers. In module 4, we will discuss absorption, and in first part we will discuss equilibrium in gas liquid systems, equilibrium in gas liquid system, selection of solvents for absorption, absorption in tray towers, absorption in packed towers, determination of height equivalent to a theoretical plate, determination of height equivalent to a theoretical plate, HETP concept. In module 5, we will discuss distillation, which is also very important mass transfer operation. Here we will discuss batch, differential, and continuous distillation. McCabe and Thiele analysis for binary distillation, then we will be discussing azeotropic distillation, and extractive distillation. There are certain textbooks which we will follow. Treval RE, which is very important book for basic mass transfer operations. The title is Mass Transfer Operations, McGraw-Hill International Edition, 3rd edition, 1981. Second one is Zinkopoulos, CJ, Transport Processes and Unit Operations, Prentice Hall Publications, 1993. Datta BK, Principles of Mass Transfer and Separation Processes, Prentice Hall, India, 2007. Benitez J, Principles and Modern Applications of Mass Transfer Operations, John Wiley and Sons, 2nd edition, USA, 2009. So, these are the 4 textbooks we will mainly follow. There are certain reference books, Wankath PC, Equilibrium Stage Operations, Prentice Hall Publications, 1989. Coulson and Richardson, Chemical Engineering, Pergamon Press, 1977. and other one is McCabe and Smith and Harriot, Unit Operations of Chemical Engineering, McGraw-Hill Publications, 6th edition, 2001. Now, we will discuss about the mass transfer operations. The first questions which occur in our mind, that what are the central topic in chemical engineering. There are three basic central topic which we are more concerned. The first one is synthesis of materials. Second one is remediation of polluted air, water and soil. And the third topic is energy generation. So, these three topics are very important for our survival. We need to synthesize materials and we want our environment should be free of pollutions. So, air, water and soil should be free of pollution, and for our survival we need energy. So, energy generation is an important topic in chemical engineering. If we see almost all the chemical processes which require a preliminary purification steps of the raw materials and also separations of the products from byproducts. Separations of chemical mixtures into their constituents is known or practiced for long time. For example, we extract perfumes from plant, particularly flower. We extract dyes from plant. We evaporate sea water to produce salt. And also we distill liquor. So, these are the processes which we use for long time or practice in our day to day life, and these are the examples of separation processes. If we consider human body, we can see if we don't have the kidney, the human body could not function for a long. Here a membrane which selectively separate water and waste materials of metabolism from blood. In chemical industries, although chemical reactor is the central feature, but the separation cost dominates. This separation cost directly depends on the final to the initial concentrations of the separated substances. If this ratio is large, then the separation cost is large. For example, we see sulfuric acid. This is low price product because sulfur is available in nature at relatively high concentrations. This is available in nature at relatively high concentration. Whereas, if we consider uranium, this is a costly material because the uranium available in the nature is in relatively low concentrations. So, in case of uranium, the final to initial ratio is large, so the separation cost for uranium is large. We chemical engineers want to separate the constituents of a mixture in relatively cheaper price or economical way, and those are the process which we use are far different from the laboratory scales. Like if we want to separate hydrocarbon mixtures, one chemist they can use the chromatography technique to separate them, which will be costly. In case if we want to separate the same constituents of hydrocarbons in industry, the chemical engineers will use the distillation as a process. So, economic considerations are important part over here. There are many separations methods which entirely based on mechanical separation. For example, filtration of solids from suspension in a liquid. We use filter medium to filtrate the solid from the suspension. So, it is completely mechanical operations. Another one is that if there is a mixture of solid materials and we want to separate them in different sizes, we use screening as the process by which we can obtain different size fractions of the particles, and this is also completely mechanical separations. The separations where the change in concentration occurs we call the mass transfer operations. Now, what is mass transfer? It is the net movement of a component in a mixture from one location to another locations where the component exists at different concentrations is the mass transfer operation. If we consider flow of a fluid, through a pipe. Or transport of solids by a conveyor belt. Are these operations are mass transfer operations? No, these are not mass transfer operations. The common examples of mass transfer operation are, we can see at a lump of sugar added to a cup of tea. So, in this case the sugar dissolves in liquid and diffuses throughout uniformly. We use agarbatti, where fragrance spreads throughout uniformly. Drying of clothes, under the sun. Here moisture diffuses to the air and this operations is also mass transfer operations. There are some industrial examples. The common examples are separation of CO2 from flue gas. As you know, CO2 is a greenhouse gas and the major contributor of the or emitter of the carbon dioxide is the power plants, and the power plant off gas which comes out contains huge quantities of CO2 and we need to remove them from the flue gas for our safety in the environment. So, the process we use to separate CO2 is the absorption process. Or if we want to separate ethanol and water mixture. We use distillation to separate them. Later we will discuss more detail on absorption, distillation separately in module 4 and module 5. Another common examples is the separations of toluene from toluene water mixtures. Using benzene as the solvent and the process we use is called extraction. So, these are the common examples of industrial processes. Now, let us classify mass transfer operations. If there are multi-phase systems, as we know, we have three states: gas, liquid and solid. With these three phases, we can have 6 combinations of phase contacts. So, one is gas system, second one is gas liquid systems, third one is gas solid system, fourth one is liquid systems, fifth one is liquid solid systems, and then solid systems. With these 6 phases, if we consider gas systems, we can see most of the gaseous components, they are miscible in each other. So, this type of process, gas system, is not practically realized. So, now if we consider gas liquid systems, one of the examples of gas liquid systems is absorption. Here, if we consider gas and liquid, two different phases are brought into contact, then solutes from the gas phase will transfer to the liquid phase. This means the solutes are changing hands from gas phase to the liquid phase, and some of the component in the gas mixture will be preferentially dissolved in the liquid phase, and hence we will get a separation. For example, if we take ammonia and air mixture and contact with the liquid water, then ammonia will preferentially dissolve in water, but no air. So, this is gas liquid systems operations. Other examples of gas liquid systems is the distillation. In this case, the process is equilibrium stage operations, and in each stage the gas and liquid are in intimate contact, similar to absorption. Here the transfer of solutes takes place in both the directions. The low volatile components or light components will go to the vapor phase. So, light component or high volatile components will go to the vapor phase, and heavy or low volatile component will transfer to the liquid phase, and we will have a separations between the components. Now, consider the gas solid systems. One of the examples of gas solid system is the drying. So, in this case also solutes are changing hands between solid and the gas. So, solid and gas systems where the solutes transfer from the solid phase to the gas phase. Another one, if this transfer occurs in the reverse directions, that is from gas to the solid, then we call is adsorption. Like if we consider a mixture of hydrocarbons and we want to separate, if we use activated carbon, then the constituents are adsorbed in different proportions in the activated carbon. So, we can have a separation in that respect. The other category of classifications on mass transfer operations is the liquid-liquid system. In this case, one of these liquid-liquid system is the extraction. Here, the two immiscible phases are brought into contact, and depending on their solubility in individual phases, the components are separated. For example, if we want to separate acetone from acetone water mixture, two immiscible phases are brought into contact. For example, if we want to separate acetone water mixture, to separate acetone, we can use carbon tetrachloride CCl4 as the solvent or another phase to extract acetone. The other category is the liquid solid systems. So, in case of liquid solid systems, the one of them, the example is crystallization. And this is the process of formation of the solids from a liquid solutions based on the difference in solute concentration and solubility at a certain temperature. Like if we want to obtain sugar, which is an important component of our diet, we want to evaporate the cane sugar solutions and to get the crystal sugar. Like if we want to obtain salt, the sodium chloride or brine, what we do? We use the brine solution and we get the salt crystal. So, these are the examples of crystallization. Other type of liquid solid systems are the leaching, here we use a selective solvent to separate the components in the solid mixture. For example, we extract ore using a liquid solvent. And the last category is the solid-solid systems. Since the diffusion in solid-solid systems is very low, so this process is not commercially viable. So, next we will discuss what are the mechanism of mass transfer. There are two basic mechanisms for mass transfer. One is molecular mass transfer, and the second one is convective mass transfer. Convective mass transfer. Molecular mass transfer occurs by molecular diffusion by virtue of the thermal energy of the molecules. Convective mass transfer occurs by random and macroscopic movement of the fluids. Macroscopic movement of the fluid. Next, we want to know what are the driving force or what is the driving force for mass transfer. To understand the driving force for mass transfer, let us consider the system between gas and liquid. So, in this case, the system at beginning initially at non-equilibrium conditions. Suppose if we take same examples of ammonia and air mixture and we take water as the solvent. So, when the systems initially not at equilibrium, the continuous change of the property by molecular diffusion takes place and change of concentration occurs and ammonia diffuses and dissolves in water. So, this process will continue until the equilibrium is reached. So, at the end of the process, what we see? We see that the ammonia concentration in the gas phase is uniform, whereas in the liquid phase also ammonia concentration is uniform, but they are in different values. In each phase they are uniform in concentration, but the value varies from gas phase to the liquid phase, but the equilibrium is reached and systems reaches steady state. So, then what is the true driving force for this mass transfer? If we see the chemical potential of ammonia in liquid as well as in the gas phase, both are same, or the activity of the component are same in both the phases. So, the true driving force for mass transfer is the chemical potential or activity. But for multi-phase systems, we generally deal with the diffusional process in each phase individually, and in each phase concentration is the driving force for mass transfer. So, this is end of lecture 1. In the next lecture, we will introduce you to the molecular diffusion and its application. Thank you.